Hello and welcome to Pit Pass Podcast. This will be a podcast with myself, Danny Bauer.
Me, AJ Davis, and a little special guest today, which is Crew Chief. She's our workshop cat that she just keeps us company, keeps the rats out, all that jazz.
Yeah, and to start off, we'll tell you what a Rebel is, what we race, where we race, get to learn a little bit about our formula. But I'll pass over to AJ because I'm new, only done a season, but he's just done his 10th season in Rebel, so anything he don't know is probably not worth knowing.
Yeah, but I don't know a lot, Danny, let's be honest. So Rebels was founded in 1994 by Hans Kirmar. They started racing, I think, in the 1995, because we've just done our 30th year, so that'll be obviously 30 years from 95.
Yep.
They're a mild steel space frame chassis with a highly modified Reliant 850 engine. With the engine, they have Piper cam. They have uprated valve springs. We skim the heads to within an inch of their life. I don't know what other people do. They run a 4-branch exhaust manifold, a steel one. We're not allowed to run stainless.
No.
With a modified Reliant intake. Now, the way they modify it is the space out about 14mm, and they have a slot cut out from 1 and 2 port and then 3 and 4 port. I think that's just because the 1 and 4 port runners are longer than 3 and 2, so it just shares fuel and air and it makes them start quicker. There's a whole jazzy science behind it, but that was a Hans design.
Yeah.
What else do we do? Head, cam, springs. I think that's about it. Oh, we're on a baffle.
Yeah.
So that's the engine. It's basically just an engine that's out of a 3-wheeler plastic pig.
Yep.
It's been tuned within an inch of its life, and then we kick the heads in.
Yeah, and everyone's got to have the same.
Yeah, so all the engines, good point, Dan, go to Hans at Rebels HQ, and they go on one dyno, and everyone's about 52 horsepower. You might get some that's, 50, 49, 51, but 52 is about all max.
Yeah.
And what this does is this makes all cars the same. So my car, Danny Boy's car, the hire car, they'll all power-wise be on the same level playing field. So what it comes down to is more driver skill. How hard are you going in the corner? How late are you braking? Are you going to try and go for a gap that might just be there? Whereas other formulas, if you've got more money, you can buy better bits, you go quicker, and then it sort of takes the racing aspect out of it.
Yeah, to a certain point, definitely. With it being a contact formula as well, there's also all them thoughts going through your head. Yeah. Whether to hit the car in front, is it a lap behind? Is it worth just waiting? There's a lot to it. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to see because when you watch Rebels, especially on YouTube, they just sort of look like they're going out for a Sunday drive.
Yeah.
But when you're in it and you're racing, we don't have suspension either. We run on a machine anti-vibration block on its side, so everything's very on its edge. Your racing's very twitchy. You can go down one track, you take one line, you do the exact same line on the next lap, and it's completely different.
Yeah.
So it's very there's definitely a certain skill to it, and you ask any rebeler that's raced a couple of years, they're not like any other car. You can't just get in them and master them straight off. Do you know? I mean, it took me 6 meetings to finish a race, but I am pretty shit.
Yeah.
So against Danny Boy, that started getting grade awards every time he was out.
It might be down to the car, that.
Nah, different driver. But yeah, so that's a Rebel. It's a mild steel chassis. They're a 5/8 scale Ford Pop, so the little cars on there, it's very similar to them. And a lot of people mix them up with Legends.
Yeah.
There was quite a... We'll go into it in a later date because we've got a Rebels book and it explains it all. But the guy who runs the Legends over in the USA, I think he had a bit of a to do with Hans, saying, you're sort of stealing my design and stealing my ideas. And he was like, you've got bike engines, we've got Reliant engines. Yours is non-contact, ours is full contact. It's oval racing, and we're not just like crack on.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, there's quite a few times where people come to us when we've got the cars at shows or wherever, and they'll be like, it's a Legend, and you're like, it's a Rebel, it's not a Legend. But no, they are a hell of a funky thing to drive. So today we are going to be talking about Mr. Bauer's first. Nah, we're not really going to call it a season, are we?
No, we didn't really get full time till maybe back end of the season.
Yeah.
So more like a test year.
Yeah, I wanted Danny Bowers to be essentially my little crash test bitch, didn't I?
Yeah, basically.
So back end of last season, we decided to run a hire car.
Yeah.
And I I was a little bit particular on it. I didn't want it to be a hire car where it goes out and it sort of doesn't perform, and you're sort of more worried about getting the money in rather than getting the races out there. So
yeah, because to come with it, a hire car a lot of the time, yeah, it helps pay with your bills for racing and stuff like that, but it's to get people that want to come into the formula, have a good experience, enjoy it while they're out there, and just have fun, not have to worry about something breaking on the car, so that they then hopefully go on to buy their own car.
Yeah,
is the main goal.
Yeah, and it's nice having more people out there, especially for newbies, or even not just newbies in racing. We've had a few people this year that's been quite high up in other formulas come in, and well, like I said earlier, the Rebels are a hell of a different thing to drive.
Yeah, they are.
And quite a few people this year wanted to come into Rebels because, as Danny said, all the cars are the same, you know, and that's what people like. There's no cheating involved, no, oh, he's got better bits than I've got, and yada yada yada. So it squashes that side of racing.
Yeah.
You might get one or two people that are complaining that so and so's cheating, but with a Rebel,
there'll always be ways to cheat within racing.
Yeah,
you can never eliminate that fully, but with the fact that the cars are all the same, if someone does start doing something silly to the car, it's going to be noticeable.
Yeah, and then that's when you can pay. I don't know what Hans calls it, but there's a fee you can pay. You pay a bit of money, they take the car away, they check it, and but with a lot of the races, I was discussing it with one of them at Hennesford. He was on the brakes, I was still on the throttle, and then that's where you're gaining on people. So
yeah, it's how far you're willing to take the throttle into the corner.
Yeah, and like just don't let off.
Yeah,
don't let off. Hold the shot. Who lets off? Hold the shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's good on that aspect, and with a lot of the people that race as well, it's a lot of it do it for like a serious bit of fun. A lot of it take it really serious, and a lot of the drivers you'll think well, a lot of the people who don't race, I think see Rebels as quite a smaller formula, like a little.
Definitely. That's one of the things we saw when we first started coming, that it was like one of the... You can even see it on the posters sometimes, that you get all your formulas and then Rebels is just in a little corner.
Yeah.
And then you sort of get there and all of a sudden you hear everyone's talking about the Rebels because they're putting on that good of a show. You get quite a lot of fans brought through just seeing them. One thing with Rebels is, I'd say, if you're thinking about going to watch them, just go do it.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you watch on YouTube or anything, it's nothing like been there.
No, that's the problem with watching from like a YouTube perspective. You can't really get what's going on. No. So there's always stuff happening on turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. You can't watch a race and get everything because there's stuff happening everywhere. But it's not the fact that people don't know what they're doing. It's just the fact that the racing's that even and that close. Everyone's battling for the same line. Yeah. And everyone's got the balls, and even the girls have got the balls to sort of push and spread their elbows out and fight for that line. Yeah. And then I think that's where the cock-ups happen.
Yeah, there's quite a fair few of them this year, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, rollover awards, there's plenty.
Yes. Which track was it? Ipswich?
Ipswich, there was 2, because it was Ricky and Scott Warville. Yeah. Scott Warville's was...
wicked.
Mad, yeah.
Anywho's, enough about other people. So, Mr. Danny Bowers, I'll pass over to you. How did you get involved in oval racing, and how did you get involved in Rebels?
So, basically, it all started with actually getting a road car that we started modifying. And then one of my friends, Ben, said about coming here. And then that was when I first got introduced to a Rebel, because you had yours at the unit. And then I think it was the start of it might have even been the last race of the 2023 season, we came and watched a Buxton race.
Which was awesome, because what a way to welcome 2 new people to oval racing than coming to Buxton where it is freezing and pissing it down.
Genuinely raining sideways. But we obviously must have enjoyed that day, because then we decided to do a full season of coming down the year after. And I think we was looking for something to do anyways as a hobby for us. So I was like, oh, well, we'll just start going with AJ, watching the Rebels. We came to a couple, and then once you start meeting a couple of the Rebelers, a couple of Rebel families, you sort of get pulled in. and it is just like one big family.
So what Danny means by we is it's not just Danny. There's his partner Ellie that's behind the camera. They're the sort of a team. It's not just Mr. Bowers. There's Miss Papworth as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we just started coming through 24, and then, like you said, for us it's not just racing. We go the night before, so it's like a little camp out weekend most weekends.
Yeah, that's primarily just because I don't like to sit down. There's not a chance where I can stop, sit, chill, because there's that much going on, especially now with 3 cars.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's the engines as well.
Yeah.
So then, like Dan was saying, the night before, it's more of a chance to like actually have a sit and a chill and just have some wind down time, rather than going on the day, you're rushing, you hit traffic, you get there late, and whenever you get late to tracks, it just don't feel right because everyone's there, unpacked, you're rushing around, it's just chaos.
Yeah, and then if you've got out last minute to do, you get pulled for your driver briefings, come back and something's amiss for the first race, and all of a sudden you've knackered yourself off the first race. But yeah, so then we started coming for the full season last year, loved it. And then I think it was Buxton again, we was going shopping, you was like, oh, someone's put a Rebel up for sale. Then we got back in the cars, got to where we stop off for food, and you was like, I've just bought a Rebel. We've got an option for you. I was like, okay. He was like, I think we're going to run it as a hire car. Do you want to be like the test pilot for the first 4 races? And then if no one's in it for certain weeks, you can jump back in it. And I was like, yeah, I'll definitely give it a go. And then that was sort of how my Rebels driving career sort of started out.
It started rough though, because we had a little bit of trouble with the hire car at the start.
Yeah, we did.
Which was more my fault, because we was trying to get the hire car ready. I had a load of palaver with paint. It's probably still sticking now.
Yeah.
So it was just sort of gotta get the hire car right. So was focusing on with that. Was doing spares. I was doing 2 engines, I think.
No, I think you did 3 last year. That went up. Yeah, because we took them all in the car.
Yeah. So there's always a lot happens, and it's always the stupid, silly stuff that you don't spot. So when Danny went out for his first race at Hennisford, everything was fine, but the car was backfiring a little bit. Now the problem with Danny being out in it and me being in the pits, we rely on like Danny telling me what's what. We rely on like so my dad does a bit of filming, sort of watching from that to try and find out what's going wrong and where. We thought it was the carb. It wasn't.
Well, I definitely think the carb was part of it. Because I think it had some fuel left in it for a while, and that had all gone stale on it. And then when you actually ripped the carb apart, there was crud everywhere.
Oh yeah, it was the white powder.
Yeah. So I think maybe they all added up a little bit to what actually caused the lack of power.
True. It was when we put the new coil on it that we realised, the negative cable's not really attached.
Yeah.
So.
But that was after Northampton, so whether that was pre or after, true. God knows with Shale.
True. Anyways, apologies for that button, Danny.
No, it's fine.
So, how did you feel when, obviously, we said to you, because it's a bit of a thing, you know, it's kind of cheeky on my part saying, well, Danny Boy's got a turbo, he might be able to take the hire car for us. So when we was in Harvester and we obviously put it to you, you know, do you want to be a driver for the hire car until it's sorted and then have it when it's not hired out? Was that good? Because I know you planned in 2024 to have a go.
So yeah, it sort of worked out better for me than I thought it was going to. Because after watching for a year, I used to play rugby, used to do contact sports, and I've not had out since with starting job, getting house, stuff like that. So I was like, I might give this a go. So for my birthday in June, I was going to say to everyone, look, just if you can all give me money for my birthday, if anyone wants to, I'm going to put it towards hiring a car out for my birthday meet, which would have been whatever was closest at the time. So then you obviously was like, oh, well, do you want to jump in this one for a couple while we get it running? Then you can have whenever it's not hired out. I was buzzing. It was perfect, really. And then, like you say, we already had the van, so it wasn't like out needed to change that way. And the trailer you made it like it wasn't even there.
Yeah, I remember that's what else we had to do this winter was the trailer, which was my trailer when I first started, but it had been packed up because wheel bearing on the driver's side decided to exit the chat and leave us.
Yeah, it was very dodgy getting the trailer to the unit. Yeah. But no, so I was buzzing for it, and then obviously it's a perfect way for me to get to know if I like it or not without having to spend big money.
Yeah, so that's the other side of things. So you've gone from a full season of watching. So you've got to know the drivers, you've got to know what they're like. Like obviously I was coming off and telling this is good, this is bad, this is handling all right. And with you being at Buxton, don't matter what Buxton is, it's always extreme weather. So before you got in it at Hennisford, I know a lot of people say, oh, you're nervous, or you're this, or you're that. It was more the fact of like, did the Rebels turn out to drive like you thought they'd drive? Or was the worse, was the better? What was the overall thought going into it? Did you think, I'm going to smash this? Because a lot of people have done that. We took a kid one time. He watched it, was like, yeah, easy, I'll smash this, I'll win everything. He went out and practiced, bent the chassis, and no longer races.
I definitely knew it wasn't going to be easy because watching it for a year, you can see, I've seen people come within that year and leave within the year. I don't really know what I was expecting. I remember I wasn't nervous, and that worried me. Because before rugby, I used to get nervous, and you can understand why. And then we my biggest worry for that day, and it'll sound daft, is the hill. I was so worried about stalling it or letting it roll back on that hill.
So the hill Danny's on about, there's a track, Hennisford, where the track is, it's sort of in a quarry. And when you come off, if you're not parked down at the bottom, you've got to go up a hill and round. And Rebels don't really have the best reputations for the brakes.
No, and previous to Hennisford, the only car I drove was yours for the parade lap at Skegness the year before.
Yeah, and I have no brakes.
Yeah, you have no brakes, and your car was set up for you, so the driving position was like really awkward for my legs. So I was like, if his brakes are like that, I'm just going to hit whoever's in front of me. I don't really know what to do.
So when we say about no brakes, I did have brakes, but I have them right at the point where you've got to be foot completely at the floor before they start coming on. Just the way my head works, you go into the corner, you press brake. You don't want to be at full brake because you just slow yourself down. So if I'm pressing the brake pedal in my head, I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
But I'm not. So, yeah, thankfully, I've sort of got out of that mindset now. We've got brakes, and the higher car's got brakes, and Danny's car's not got brakes because the fluid didn't like staying in the car.
So, yeah, the only thing I can remember now from that first race was what, like you've said before, when you stood watching them, they look like they're going for a Sunday drive sometimes. And then all of a sudden you're in them, and the flag goes, everyone else disappears from in front of you, and all of a sudden they're behind you and coming flying past you, and I couldn't believe how quick some of them go. And then, it was just sort of a case of learning rear-wheel drive, I think. I only had one car that was rear-wheel drive prior to driving one of these.
And your MX-5 you're on about wasn't welded diff either.
No.
So you could drive it in the wet and not get a bit sideways.
But no, I remember for like half the race, the first one, I was going, and then I realised there's like 50% more throttle. I was only putting the throttle down halfway. But apart from that, your first races, I mean, I was just trying to stay out of the way of trouble. Because there's no point me going on the proper racing line. I'm not going to be at that speed at that point. It was just seat time, like you say, and then obviously me trying to hear anything wrong with the car. First race, I thought went well for my first race. We got the finish, didn't come last. And I don't think I'd noticed the misfire at this point. So I don't think I was going quick enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unless you're at full throttle, I don't think you notice like the top end misfires.
Yeah. So we sort of got ready for the second race. Went down, got on the track, and I think about halfway through the race, I noticed the throttle pedal wouldn't come back up to me anymore. It was just sticking on full.
So with us, when we bought the car, we sort of went through everything, didn't we?
Yeah, everything that you'd go through. It got a full overhaul.
It got a full overhaul, but the one thing we didn't think of was, should we have a look at the throttle spring?
Yeah, no.
So the one thing we didn't look at, decided to snap, give way. But considering that when a throttle spring goes on probably any car, well, I can only really say for Rebels, is it's wicked because you all of a sudden have all the speed.
Yeah. You can't really back off with the throttle.
No, or when you do back off, it's like, oh fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So thankfully, you managed to keep all the wheels on it and keep it out the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, we nursed it round, but that was when I noticed that they had a misfire.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we did out at the day. I don't know if you maybe altered with a couple of the settings on the carb.
Yeah, I think we just tried to adjust the air fuel mixture.
Yeah. Went out for the final. At this point, I was buzzing because the clutch starts always look a load of fun, and I still love them now.
But while we're on the topic of Hennisford and clutch starts, because it's a banked track,
Yeah, that's what I was just about to get onto, yeah.
you just start rolling.
Because I'm at the back, and I'm still at the back even nowadays. You're at the top, and you're trying to get on the throttle and lift the clutch a bit, but you can't because you need to be on the brake, otherwise you're rolling forward into the car in front of you.
So whenever the start marshal gets his flag out and starts waving, we all put the clutch in. We're giving it throttle, and we all start moving.
Yeah.
And like you're trying to feather between the brake and the throttle and the clutch and everything, and you just start dancing in the car.
Yeah.
And so Hennisford's definitely one of the, I wasn't going to say worst places to do a clutch start, but it's more messy places.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great because you either keep on your brake and your clutch, but you're putting no throttle on.
Yep.
Or you throttle and clutch, but you then start moving.
Yeah.
And like the last thing someone wants to do is move, and then you get docked for jumping.
Yeah.
So we could sort of do with a third foot. Or a handbrake. That would be
Or a
wicked.
handbrake. A handbrake could work well.
Yeah, but then we could start doing like skids. Or more skids.
That one felt good. That was where I was getting a bit more in the mood, and like you could sort of get on the racing line a bit when you found your gaps and stuff. And I must have been on the racing line too much because someone cracked me coming onto the last corner and I spun out. But no, apart from that, I think that for that first race meeting, I think it went perfect for me.
Yeah, I can remember when obviously we said to you, do you want to be a test driver? We didn't want to happen with what happened to other people where they think, you know, this is easy, wicked, I can do this, and then they sort of bend it and break it. So me and my dad was always saying, like, I hope he's not gonna be a twat. You know, I hope he's not gonna wreck it the first corner. So we was thinking a little bit more along the lines of, is Danny gonna be all right? But then at the same time, is the car gonna come back in one piece?
Yeah.
Which then led us on to Northampton. Because
we weren't meant to race Shale at the start of the season, was we? It wasn't in the calendar. And then I think it might have been a week before we actually raced at Hennisford, or around then, it got put in, didn't it? So it was like you say, I got sort of used to
the car and
tarmac, and then all of a sudden a week later we're going on Shale.
Yeah. So that was my concern with them. It's more of like, Rebels are hard to drive on the tarmac as they are. But then when you add Shale into the mix, and the amount of cars and some of the people on the track, it's then oh shit.
Yeah.
This could be a bit of a bad one. So I was more worried about, are you going to be able to, being polite, drive it on the dirt and keep it out the wall? And thankfully, it was wicked. You damaged the car nothing. You didn't damage the car at all.
No.
And I decided to do things with my steering wheel that I don't think you
played trumpet with your steering wheel.
Yeah. But we'll get back to that later date.
Yeah. Yeah, Northampton, like I said, I don't even know what I was thinking to like drive. Like, I was just going to drive it like I drove Hennisford because that's all I knew. And then I learned you really don't need to come off the throttle as much as you think because you got to keep your momentum on Shale.
Got to keep the wheels spinning.
Yeah. But no, yeah, by the end of that, I was loving Shale because you start getting the back end out, you learn where you can go and stuff. But that was the meeting as well, where it was actually, I believe, Danny Maddox's dad came over and said there's a misfire on the car as well, didn't he? Because I was telling you that it was still misfiring, and you was like, oh, I don't know where it could be from now. And then he came over and I was like, well, I'm glad someone else heard it because that's someone that knows a lot about these cars.
Yeah, I like the Maddoxes. They came into Rebels not knowing a great deal about the cars, and all they do is just learn and then pass that on to other people, new drivers. So it's good that they're doing what they're doing. But the good thing with the Maddoxes as well is, not just the Maddoxes, it's the Rebel teams as a whole, is no one sort of just helps themselves. Do you know?
No.
You could write your car off, and you've got people coming and giving you hand. The amount of teams that get involved with everyone to get each other out. The second they pass the gates, no one's friends.
No.
But the second they come off the gates, it's a free for all to try and get all the cars out, which is always been a good thing about Rebels.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've raced other formulas, like when I was younger, we did go-karts. And you can definitely get a lot more hostility in them ones where it's like, don't look at what I'm doing. We're trying to keep it a secret, because they are the ones where you're talking about like different parts can make different things happen. And
with setup as well, I've had a few people come up and say, "Oh, AJ's, what's your setup for this track?" And like, I can tell you, because I'm an heavy fuck. I weigh a lot more than some of the drivers, and weight does come into it quite a bit. So a lot of the times, a setup will work for me, a setup won't work for Dan. A setup will work for Dan, will work for me. It's the same with other drivers. So when it comes to setup wise, you can sort of take what some people are saying and doing with their car, but at the same time, every car's different within the sake of
regulations.
Like, no, it's more they're different, as in some chassis are bent and then some are straight.
Yeah.
So that does come into a big play, because that shifts all the weight around. So you can take other people's setups, but they might just not do what you want them to do.
Yeah, and then I think a big part of realising that for me was when we went to, if we jump forward a bit, to Skegness.
Well, before we go to Skegness, Northampton, the one thing I want to mention is, after you saw what happened with number 90, Liam Brown, where he broke his foot after doing a spectacular rollover. So obviously you've watched it and you've seen a couple of cars roll over in the accidents and what have you. Now you're in a race and you're seeing how easy it is to roll over, and obviously we didn't know at the time that he'd broke his foot.
Yeah.
What does it make you think when you see like a car roll over and you hear over the radio, because we have receivers and we've got Rachel in our ears, and it's great, but she's absolute chaos sometimes.
Yeah,
because it'll be like inside turn 1, outside turn 3. What's going on? And then it'll be like red roll over.
Yeah.
So when you heard roll over and obviously saw Liam Brown on his roof, what do you think? Because you're yet to roll over, so you've got that to come.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you're just thinking, I hope he walks out the car.
Yeah.
You don't really think about how else.
Well, he didn't really walk out, did he?
No, that's what I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's not something I worry about. No. It'll happen when it happens. I thought it was going to happen at Skeg later this year, but I'm not worried for it.
No.
I don't know. I think if you're worried about that, you're not going to race.
Yeah, you've got to take that sort of cautiousness out of your brain. You're coming into a contact formula. You're going to have contact. You just deal with it.
Yeah, I think if you're worried about rolling the car, especially with how we've seen easy it can be done with a Rebel, because your wheels are there to be hit if people get in the wrong place, or you get your hit wrong, or you both wheel to wheel, and anything can happen to flip a car. I think if you are genuinely worried about that whilst racing, you're going to just hinder yourself.
Yeah, because if you're too cautious, that you then will go for gaps, you'll try not overtake, you'll try not push for a position. So yeah, that's understandable. So anyways, enough about the dirty stuff. How was the rest of your season?
Good. So I think the next 2 races after that followed was Aldershot and Skeg, which I ended up doing. Or was it Skeg Aldershot? Might have been Skeg Aldershot. Yeah, it was, because I did Skegness because we had the day's practice.
Yeah.
Which was when I found out your setup was horrid.
Yeah.
For me, and I hated it because it felt like I was driving the car on ice. Skeg was great. Still probably one of our favourite tracks out there. Skeg was where I started racing with a couple of people, like actually keeping up, trading a position maybe.
Putting the bumper in.
Yeah, so that obviously makes a massive difference, because then you're not just taking part, you're involved, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because with racing, as good as it is to get out there and like start driving in circles like an idiot, you do want to start competing a little bit. And when you're racing, because it's sort of hard to tell people that haven't been in before, and like especially new people to oval racing, because a lot of people say to me, well, it's not really competitive, is it? You're just driving in circles.
Yeah, all you got to do is turn left.
All you got to do is turn left. And like, Yeah, correct. You do all those things, but then is the guy in front of you, or a lap down? You know, we've seen it countless times this year. You're going into last couple of laps and you're in second. You want to stay there so you can get the hit on person in first. But then if you stay there too long, you're not going to get that chance to hit.
No.
Or you are going to hit him and he's not going to get out of the way. So you're thinking about 4,000 things in one.
Yeah.
Especially with, the numbers that Rebels are pulling in now, there's a lot to think about a lot of the time on the tracks. And then when you get in a pack and it's just chaos, you know, you're trying to think, well, I've got to get through this. But then at the same time, you've got so-and-so over there that's now just fucking pissing over it all, and I'm sat doing whatever.
Yeah, trying to get out of this. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. You can make oval racing sound really boring if you want to.
Get in, turn left, get flag, go.
But I think anyone that says that, I'd like to see them get in a car and then say that wants to get out of a car.
I mean, we have a hire car if there's anyone that has that thought.
Yeah.
You know, you can happily jump in and it's just a good car.
Yeah. Because there's 1,001 things to be thinking about. Like you say, are you jumping onto the racing line? Are you going to stay wide for this corner to get a better run down the next side? There's loads.
And this goes on to like back in the 2024 season. For us, we let a certain driver pass because we didn't want to get the taken out and took wide, and it was beneficial for us. So you lose a position, but you then gain 3.
Yeah.
So it's not always he's being overtaken, he's doing poorly. It's like, well, no, I wanted so and so to overtake me because then he's done something over there, and I've just tucked it in and gone. Yeah,
because that's a whole other thing to the racing as well, isn't it? The restarts. Our restarts aren't like a lot of them. You get single foul and all of a sudden you'll get green flag and everyone's booting it and you're bumper to bumper. There's a lot of ways you can look at doing that. Are you going to be the one to put the push in?
Yeah.
Are you going to try and jump out the way from the start and try and just get a clean go?
Because that's the thing. If you bumper and bumper, if you, let's say you're tight up against someone, but then someone's tight up against you, the second that green flag goes, you can't go left, you can't go right.
You're just riding until you get space.
So again, do you leave a bit of a gap on the guy in front so when the green flag goes, if you're getting pushed, you can sort of go around?
Yeah.
But then, is that person in front thinking the same thing? So there's a lot to think about. And I would, especially the people that don't really take much notice of the Rebels, I would love them to have a go.
Yeah, because we've seen, again, going back to the season we've just had, we've had certain people that have raced other formulas in, bigger formulas that are contact, other formulas that aren't contact, and they come off and give it so much more praise than you hear before it.
Yeah.
I've not heard someone come off after, even the ones where we've had drivers in that have won a race in the higher car, they've not come off and go, oh, that's too easy, I'm not bothering with this again.
I know we're on about your season, but a slight tangent. The best person that's done that was Jail Biters.
Yes, definitely.
He came off the first race. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like to say he races his other formulas.
Yeah, I think he does grass trap. So obviously he's been in quicker stuff.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
I can't remember what he said he has. I don't know whether he's got a twin bike engine or a grass car, but it's not always about the power. When you tell people a Rebel's only got 52 horsepower, they go, oh yeah, well, wicked, so's my kettle. But then you sort of get in it and you go, well, there's no suspension, it's a welded diff. You're flat out second gear. And one of the races, 193 and Chevy, has a little race box.
Yep.
That he puts in his car. Now that is controlled by GPS and you can get all telemetry. It's quite a fancy bit of kit. You're doing 50 odd mile an hour at Buxton's and you're doing just shy of 70 mile an hour at Hennisford. Open wheel racer. You're doing that. It's
and
wicked.
You've got,
it's
like
so
you
much
say,
fun.
with Hennisford, you got 44 other cars on the track with you.
Yeah, and if you're wheel to wheel, it's definitely a thing. If you've not tried it and you're wanting to try it, if you're wanting to give it a go, get in touch with Rebels and organise a time to have a go.
Well, yeah, because that's it. There's a few hire cars out there now, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's, I think, 4.
I think there's 3 now. You've got Geary car, Alan Cooper, but his car's up for sale, and then you've got our car.
Yeah.
So there is hire cars there, but then it goes to show you the popularity of cars is. I think we've got maybe 4 or 5 or 6 people wanting to get in, and there's no cars for sale.
Yeah, that's it, innit? Yeah.
That sort of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Anywho's right. Sorry about the tangent. brain goes wanders. So we've done Hennisford, we've done Northampton, Skegness.
And then Aldershot was the last time in the hire car before it actually started going up for hire.
And your first time with it pissing it down.
Yes, for the last race.
Yeah.
But doesn't help that it's an egg, not an oval.
Yeah, Aldershot, if you've never raced there before, turns 1 and 2's quite sweeping.
Yep.
So you can keep it fully throttle. And then 3 and 4, it just goes whop whop. And it's quite tight. So a lot of your shit happens on 3 and 4. Sorry for the French. But that's where it all comes to light. And obviously the help you had when you started is you sort of had me and my dad saying, right, you want to look out for this on the track and that on the track. And Aldershot was always 10 3 and 4 is just shit. Just get around it and deal with it. And it was your first like really long away track, wasn't it?
Racing, yeah. Would been the season before with you. But it was the first time towing the trailer down and everything, getting the full experience of what it is, and it was a really good weekend. If I remember it right, we thought I'd done better than we did because of a certain 2 people telling me I came 8th.
So when we travelled down, as obviously myself, Danny, Ellie that's behind the camera. We take another lass with us called Tia and my dad.
Yeah.
So when it was going around, Danny Boy heard, Ellie and Tia heard over the microphone that it was 8th place, 30. Well, they thought it was 13.
Yeah.
So they came off and there was buzzing. There was like, oh, Danny Boy, you got 8th. Because Danny Boy's goal for this season was a top 10 finish.
Yeah.
So you came off, was like, yeah, it was all right, race. These 2 are buzzing. And you're like, what's going on? You know, what's happened?
Yeah, because when there was like, you got 8th, I was like, I know it was carnage, but I don't remember going past that many cars. But I was like, oh, sweet, buzzing. And then the list came out on the back of Rebel's truck. I was like, yeah, it was 30 that got 8th.
Yeah.
So
it's weird because you got mistaken for number 30. Now you get mistaken for 73.
73. I might just write the letters on the side next year.
Yeah, just big Danny Bowers.
13. But no, it was a good weekend. The wet for me, that race, I think everyone just was saying to me, if you think you're going slow, you're not. Everyone else will be doing the same. There's only so fast you'll be able to handle it at certain points with the Rebels, because the wet is a whole different ball game.
I love the wet.
Yeah. I enjoy it more now. Only a little bit though. Because I've done more in it. We've had a very dry race season. If I'm thinking back to it, there's not a lot of wet meets we've had. No,
there was the only sort of wet meeting has been, I think there's one Buxton, Aldershot.
The weekend was wet, wasn't it?
True. 2 wet Buxtons, Aldershot, and the rest was just sort of drizzly.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed it, and that was when I was like, I'm going to be a bit miffed now next week when I got to bring this car and strap someone else in it.
Yeah, so that's the sort of other side of this season for you. I mean, when you look at like off track, you've had chaos. So you was never raced before.
Yep.
You've raced karting, but never oval raced before.
Nope.
You're jumping in the hire car, niggling out or sorting out all the niggly bits, the problems.
Yep.
And it was like, right, well done for getting used to the car. Out you come. So you had a few meetings off where you'd not been in the car and you'd sort of not learned it. And the problem with that is you're learning a car that if you put it in a wall and it bent, you're then learning a bent car.
Yeah.
Now, you've come out, other people are going in it. If they bend the car, you're then getting into a car where you're thinking, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Thankfully, we didn't have that.
No, the high car's been a bit of a tank this year.
Yeah, Hellite's been a tank. What have we done on the higher car? We've done a wheel stud. I mean, we've done a diff. That's painful.
Yeah, that won't hurt. Diff, wheel stud, bent the bumper back.
Yeah, and towards the later end of the season, engine's milked up. That's not a problem. It's only milking it, it's Yazoo.
Yeah.
But the wheel stud one, if you're thinking, why is that? Why is that something to talk about? He took a full hit.
On the back wheel.
No, it was the front wheel, wasn't it? He took a full hit, car drove at him, and he hit the wheel stud, bent the wheel stud, and it was like, it's not only done.
Yeah.
Not the tracking out a little bit.
Me and Ellie were stood perfectly where the higher car had spun. And then as he started coming back, I thought that's probably the wrong gap to go for. And then you just heard the crunch. And I thought, oh dear.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit of work to get that out for the next race.
It's a bit of damage.
Brought it back, looking at it, and I was like,
nothing's bent.
it looks absolutely fine.
Went to go take the wheel off, and I'm like, oh, wheel stud's like, what?
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
Put the wheel stud in, put the wheels on, tracked it, sorted.
Off you
Off you go for the next race.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a good car this season.
Yeah.
So you had, I can't remember how many times it was out of the car. So you was out of the car for quite a while, and then we saw a car for sale. So Rebels put a post up. They was asking for Rebels for sale because they started getting a lot more interest.
Yes.
So we went and bought that, and it was like, right, Danny Boy has now got a car. We're going to do it over the winter, which is now.
Yep.
Get it done for him, and then, ta-da!
Yeah.
There you go. There's a car for next season.
Yeah, the reason we were going to do it over winter was because the one we actually went and got from Stoke had sat in someone's garden for 9 years.
Yeah, it was being a planter.
So with that, a lot of rules, regulations, stuff to the cars has changed since then.
And I think it was more the fact you didn't want to rush it.
Well, yeah, especially with the hire car, we had a full off winter season building it, and it's shown for that, I think. So I was like, if we rush it and it's a real shit experience, it's just going to be annoying.
Yeah, and then you're always chasing your tail.
Yeah. So we said, we'll put it back a unit, sort it when we sort it, because it needed everything doing, didn't it? So then we carried on with the hire car. I think I got a couple more meetings, but the hire car took off to the point where it was getting booked up.
Yeah, I think it was good because we had Sam Parker in it, Buxton.
Yep.
He won.
Yep.
After that, we got a couple more bookings, and then we had Tebbs in the car, and then it just went ballistic.
Yeah, you was getting people from other formulas asking.
Yeah, the I don't know what that guy has done, but he has got such a following now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even Fano. You know, I had kids running up to me saying, "Where's Tebbs?" I was like, "Tebbs isn't racing." "Where's the car Tebbs was in?"
Yeah.
"It's over there," and they're running. You know, just to get a picture of the car, and you're thinking, what the hell?
Yeah, which, like we said, great for the formula because we want to try and get as many eyes on the formula as we can.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll see Tebbs back out in it again because he has some unfinished business.
Yeah,
with the
definitely. So then it sort of started getting up to like Skeggy treble time, didn't it? And
well, I remember that day clearly. So if you see the stuff we have around here, we've built like a bit of another room within our unit. And when we was building this, I got contacted about 2 cars that were for sale.
Oh yeah, it was when we was putting the steelwork and stuff up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this guy said, right, yeah, I've got 2 Rebels for sale, all his spares. That's the price. Do you want them? And it's like, yes, we'll have a fleet of 6 Rebels. No, 5, 6 Rebels at this time.
Yeah.
And then it was like, what do we need 2 more cars for? Well, we don't. So it was like, right, Danny boy, we've got a chance you can race Rebel Treble, but we've got to build a car.
In a week.
So that sort of goes back onto the whole, we'll get this car, we'll build it in the winter. So now it's, this car...
This car was a lot more up to date.
Yeah, it was a lot more up to date. And the engine that was in it was, I think it was 10 laps, a meeting old.
And the guy that had built that engine
is the guy who showed me how to build
engine. You how to build engines, so we know it was a good engine.
Yeah, so all that needed, it just needed a seat bolting in, everything checking over. Our suspension blocks needed bringing up to date, and it just needed a bumper mod, which is you cut the bumper off, weld some plates on, weld the strengthening bar. So that was, as Danny was saying, more complete. So it was a case then of like, right, let's get Danny Boy racing.
It was, yeah. We picked it up on the Saturday, and it was the next Wednesday we was going to Skegness.
Yeah.
So we didn't even have a week.
No. So it was back Saturday. Saturday was more of like, we can do this.
Yeah, we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. 3 hours later, instantly regretting the decision.
Yeah.
There's so much to do.
The Sunday, I don't even think we had that late of a one, did we? It was the Monday, Tuesdays where we was...
Yeah, I think it was more Saturday we sort of did the drive, picked them up, collected them, grafted, and it was like Sunday we woke up and was like, I just want to go to bed, I'm knackered. So we had nearly one Sunday. Monday, Tuesday was just...
Flat out, get here, get on.
Yeah. Then Wednesday, did we book Wednesday off work?
Yeah, because we raced Thursday.
That's a good job we've got Ellie behind the camera. She's just there nodding furiously. So we had the Wednesday off. I can't remember if we did a little bit to the car. Oh, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't, because Tuesday night, about midnight, we took the photos where we had to roll them out and get them sorted for going on the trailers.
Yeah.
And we took a photo of them already.
Yeah. And then we got to Skeg on the Wednesday night.
Yep.
Yeah, Wednesday night. Got there, had a bit of a chill out. Got to the truck on the Thursday, and then it was like you'd not even driven it on the street. We pushed it on the trailer.
The most the engine had ran was you making sure the engine ran before we put it in the car.
Well, speaking of trailer, that was a whole different story.
Yeah.
So we'd gone from Danny Boy towing one car
Yep.
to then us buying his car, and then it's like, right, well, we'll need a double trailer for next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to
Preston,
bought a trailer, got it back, was like, wicked, I like this trailer, it's very nice.
Yep.
It just needs a new floor and some paint.
First thing we did, make sure it fit 2 cars. Put 2 cars on it.
Put 2 cars on it, it was like, sweet. They overhung a little bit, but we measured it and it was within
the rules of
DVLA
allowed them to do it, yeah.
And then me, scrolling through eBay, there's a triple axle trailer. I wonder where that is. Oh, it's in Hull. Rung up the guy. He's only like round the corner from me work. So popped and saw that, was like, that is mint. That trailer is awesome. So we got the trailer, put it by my house, and it was like, right, we'll do that over winter time.
Yeah, winter was meant to be busy.
Yeah, I mean, it's busy now.
It
but
still is, but it would have been
I'm so glad we've not got all that shit to deal with. So yeah, that was sort of a maiden voyage for your van towing the 2 cars, because the only thing we'd turn was the mezzanine, which is what we're on now.
Yep.
We just loaded all that steelwork on the trailer. It was like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. No brakes.
Yeah, because it was just a case of, thank God it was a close track, because we couldn't make do if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, because we had the new triple axle trailer before we bought the extra Rebels, and I remember me and my dad having a discussion saying, shall we put the hire car on the new trailer and see if Danny's van can tow it well to Skegness, because it's a local track and this that, and the other. Nah, that all went out the window. We're just like, just chuck 2 cars on, off we go.
Which luckily it towed like a dream.
That van tows that trailer fantastic.
Yeah. So all went well up there, got the cars off, started up, it was fine.
Went for a little drive.
Yeah,
Had
drove
no
around the
brakes.
pits. Yeah, put some fluid in, prayed for the best.
Yeah.
Skeggy Treble was a nightmare though.
Yes, with what we say about Skeggy Treble, the Rebel Treble, it's always set at Skegness on the Thursday, Sunday, Monday. I know we did last year was Thursday, Saturday, Monday.
Yeah, it changed up a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's like a separate championship run over the 3 days called the Rebel Treble. So always on the Thursday, it's night racing. And any rebeler will tell you night racing is just chaos. Everything happens. It seems like everyone just gets turned up to fucking 11.
Yeah. That was one of the best meets of the year before to watch.
Yeah. It wasn't to race when you forgot to take your tinted visor off, you put it down when you're on the rolling lap and go, I can't see shit.
Yeah. To race it as well was wicked. It's just, it was starting over again with finding problems.
Yeah. So again, going off what we were saying earlier with you can share setups because every car is different. I think it's all down on like, has this chassis been straightened? Has it got a little bend in it? Is it twisted slightly? Now, a lot of people will tell you, a lot of rebels will tell you, straight cars don't go as well as bent cars and twisted cars. My car's knackered. My front right leg is up maybe 4 inches. Will I bring it down? Probably not, because it's going well. So we'll leave it. So you'd obviously started in your car, had a good Thursday.
Yep.
It looked a little bit bland. We had a bit of time. So what do you do when you're at Skegness and you've got nothing to do? You paint a car?
Yeah. Well, it didn't go really well because the car caught fire.
Yeah, good point. Some of the wiring loom or some of the wiring came off because the terminals were shit. Arced against each other, burnt up the loom. And then, I think, was that on your first race? On the Thursday?
It was the second race before the final.
Right, so Danny came off, not on fire, but on fire, and then he was like, well, I'm done. That's it, we're done with 3 days. And I was like, nah, fuck that. We fixed your loom temporarily, permanently.
Yeah.
But that turns out to be the inspiration for the
paintwork
flames.
for this year, yeah.
What do you have on the car when your car's been on fire? You have the flames.
Yeah, we went to the local Halfords and pretty much raided it of all the orange paint they had.
Yeah, and fire extinguishers.
Yeah, after getting told off.
We had fire extinguishers, they just weren't the right kg.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
they needed to be 2 kg.
I don't know. Something
like that.
Something's better than nothing, but we just didn't have enough.
So then we got back to the pits Friday afternoon.
Yeah, we had a little excursion to some antique shops.
Yeah, Friday or Saturday. And then we just decided to put hot rod flames on the side of the car in the pits. Yeah. Which...
Why not? What else do you do?
Yeah, and then
everyone else is chilling at the front. We're currently painting a Rebel.
We painted the wheels neon orange. I don't think it looked...
But don't forget, Dan, what else did you do? Your windmill.
Oh, yeah. Got a windmill for the fin, didn't I?
So what a lot of drivers will do, number 14's got a little sloth. They'll drill a couple of holes in the field and they'll put like a mascot. Whereas Danny Boy got one of those like seaside windmill things, put it on it. It was the funniest shit going around. Just seeing your windmill.
Just watching the video back, you just see this little windmill going off its head.
And then you lost it. Oh.
No, it survived the whole weekend of racing. We got on the road to go back home, and I thought, I'll leave it on. We'll do 50 when we're in the van, if we're doing that, if we're lucky. And then I just heard Tia go, your windmill's gone. I was like, no.
Now, are we going to see a return of the windmill back in 2026?
I think so. I think we need to go bigger and better, though, depending on how much I get told off by Rachel for having it on there.
A bigger windmill. If you can't cheat if we're going quicker, Dan.
Yeah. But no, Skeggy Treble was just finding out what was wrong with it again, which turned out to be a couple of things, which is always the same. But it was me getting back in a car for the first time again, regularly. Yeah,
because that's the thing now. It's like, right, your car.
Yeah, you're not getting in, having to worry about, I've got to reset the seatbelts. Need to reset the steering wheel back to where I like it. Was it there? Was it there?
Yeah, you can make adjustments and like, you're not just having to make do.
Yeah.
Do you know, this is yours now. This is set up for you, and then that's when you start, because you can take note of any setup changes and any setups for the tires and tracking and rear axle adjustment you can have in a hire car, but that always gets adjusted.
Yeah.
Whereas in your car, it's like, right, we're gonna try this setup today. Doesn't work. We're gonna try this setup today. That's better. Now we'll change it a little bit, and then you can sort of work out your car on your own terms and your own pace, and then build up speed. Which, speed-wise, we'll get onto, because Mendips, one of the big sort of things I can remember and take from Mendips was, I think it was the Grand National. Was it Grand National or the final? I think it was Grand National.
I think it was the Grand National, yeah.
It was dark, so it was just chaos racing, because it always is when it's dark. But I think there was Shane Murphy, Harry Graham, Danny Maddox. So you had quick lads with you. I was a couple of cars behind you, and I can't remember who else we. I think it was Jack Charlesworth. So the thing that was going through my head was, Danny Boy's going to get fucked.
Yeah.
He's going to get fucked up.
Because the thing we noticed about Mendips as well, it's a very narrow track.
Yeah. And green flag went, we all started racing. It's like, well, hang on a second. He's giving us some, aggro. He can get involved. He's racing hard. And I was like, go on, Danny Boy. Now, the only thing that fucked you up was you had another racer that span, and as you span, he sort of backed up into your front wheels, sent them skewing, and that sort of knackered you up. But up until then, it was like, this boy's quick.
Yeah, that was where the car felt its best.
Yeah, you started, a couple meetings in, you started to get used to it.
Yeah, it was just one of them. It was like, there was a gap inside or a gap outside. I couldn't go inside because there was already a car there, so I had to try to get round outside. And
it's one of those things.
Yeah,
it's racing bad luck.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Then it was just a case of getting myself in that car, breaking the engine in because we could tell it was getting quicker through meetings, and just seat time. I think that's a massive thing with Rebels. But no, it was enjoyable. It's just learning a new car again, and being able to race more. You can tell where your braking points are with that car. You're not having to use the first and second race to learn your braking points again, learning where you're going or what line you want to sort of take.
So where are you braking? Because I want to know where other people are like.
Before I used to go, so I was braking like I would in other Formula. So like I'd be braking on the straight and then turning in. Now I'll turn whilst on the power, and then sort of when I'm coming into the curb, that's where I'll hit the brakes. I know you're
Sort of-
a lot later because you showed me at Skegness.
Yeah.
But I think I need to get my brakes working to do it that late.
Yeah, so it was, I think it was towards the end of the season, definitely at Heddersford. He'd be like, couple of laps in, brakes sweet, and then he'd be like, I've got no brakes. Check the pot, no fluid, top it up, go out again, does the same thing, check to see if there's any leaks, bone dry everywhere.
Yeah,
It is a
I
mystery.
couldn't explain where it was going. But the only time the brakes felt great was, again, Mendips, because you'd hit the brakes and it'd make you turn.
Yeah.
And that's just great when you get that feeling. But at the end, you'd like do your last lap after your red flag sort of come round. And I'd sit there and the front brakes would just be smoking. So I don't know whether it's just cooked it.
Maybe. I mean, we'll find out because we're stripping it down.
Yeah.
Somehow, so.
But then, so for the rest of the season, like you say, it was just seat time, getting through it. We got a good couple of finishes.
Yeah, so with your top 10 finish target this season, did you do it? Did you smash it?
Yeah, we actually jumped over when I did it because it was in the hire car and it was Ipswich Yarmouth weekend,
Yeah.
which was the last weekend I drove the car before Skeggy Treble.
Yeah. Danny broke the car that day at Ipswich.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
He broke it spectacularly.
yeah. So, heat one, we're going round, and if you've ever raced it, you'll know it. On the bit of the outside, as you go past the start-finish line, there's a bit of a bump. Went over that, and that was when I sort of knew, right, you once you get settled from the bump, that's when you're making your turn in. Went to make the turn in, and I just heard the car die. And I thought, oh, God. Saw the red light, so my hand just went up, killed it, parked in the corner, and I was like, oh, I'm not really in a great position here, but we'll just have to hold out here.
Because I remember coming around and saw you packed up against the one. I was thinking, what the fuck's he done now?
Yeah.
Don't kill that car, Danny.
Luckily, where I'd parked was the better position, because if the car had died a little bit earlier, could have been involved with Jake's little push on.
Yes, there was quite a big bit of shit happened with number 14, Jake Butler, and Leslie Lynch.
Leslie Lynch.
Can't remember his number. It was a fair hit.
Yeah.
Jake broke his ass again. He'll probably be watching this laughing now, but he broke his ass again.
Yeah.
No, it was a hell of a hit. And as you said, if you was a little bit more around the corner, you'd have probably got your ass broken as well.
Yeah.
So the problem that happened with it was the timing chain snapped.
Yep.
In a lot of other engines, it might be catastrophic because your valves might hit your pistons. Thankfully, in a Rebel, it's a non-interference engine. So we just back to the pits. New front cover, new timing chain. We didn't have a timing chain tensioner, but one of the other racers, Willis, number 66.
66.
He came over and just said, just bend the old tensioner a bit to make like a temporary tensioner. Put that in, away you go. Did it, got back out, and then you got, was it 8th or 7th?
8th.
Yeah. Which is wicked at sort of a little...
Which I didn't even have a clue about. Because again, when you start racing in the oval, I don't know who's where what or anything. I'm just racing.
Yeah.
So I was sort of like, red flag, right, we're done. And I just remember you coming past waving your hand, and I thought, oh, there's one. I didn't even realise it was first.
Brother, I won't win. I don't think I've ever won at Ipswich, and I don't think we will now.
I was like, oh, sick. He must have done well. And I remember coming up next to you and you was just screaming 8th. And I was like, what? And he was like, you got 8th. And I was like, what? And then that was when it sort of sunk in.
We didn't mistake you for Jonesy this time.
No, we didn't. But no, that was really good. And then to top that weekend off, it's a bit of a cheaty way to get a top 10. But with, is it not, what championship did we race for at Great Yarmouth?
Southern Shootout.
Southern Shootout, you sort of race split grid dirt, yeah.
Yeah, so with Southern Shootout, it's more inclined to like, I'd say lower grades, but it's not low grades.
Yeah.
The lowest point scorers start at the front, and then the highest point scorers start half a lap back to sort of give it a bit of a handicap. Because you'd not raced quite a lot of the qualifiers, you started in the front pack. Yeah. And you did well. I hate Yarmouth. Yarmouth is awful.
I loved it. It's a shame that we might not be back there, but I just remember setting off and the car again felt great from the day before. It makes a difference, I'd always say as well. If you race the Saturday, Sunday in a Rebel, it makes so much of a difference to how you'll feel on a Sunday coming into your last races compared to when you just do a day, because you've had 2 days of racing to get used to the car.
Yeah, so you'll have a day in it and then you've got a week where you're just not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying with that. So, World Final, take us through World Final. Whereabouts you qualify?
World Final, 10th row inside.
Which, for half a season, because a lot of people's done full season.
Yep.
You've done half a season.
Mm-hmm.
You've never raced ovals before.
Nope.
I know you've got quite a few grade awards, but you've never, as we say now, you've not placed in the top 10 a lot.
Nope.
So 10th row, was it inside?
Yep.
So 10th row inside is a wicked place to be.
Yeah. It was a worrying place to be as well, though, because that's dead middle of the pack.
Yeah.
There's 20 rows, I believe. 20, 21?
38 cars, I think. I don't know.
What's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is middle of the pack. Middle of the pack, so you don't want to be.
Inside, so you're not going to have much place to go. And with the World Final, it's a 2-2 rolling start in it.
But this year as well, it wasn't just like the Rebels World Final. You had the crowd from the F1s, the crowd from the Bangers. You had... we was first race, weren't we? Yeah, so thankfully we...
Yeah, because we went on, did the parade lap, stayed on the track for a little bit where people could come on, look at the cars, stuff like that, get autographs, and then it was a case of, right, get your helmet on and get going.
Because usually we're on after the Bangers, we just have to deal with all the guts that are hanging out. This is not fun.
No.
So 10th row, do you remember what I told you beforehand? Just finish.
Yeah.
Just finish, Danny boy.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Didn't finish.
How did you not finish?
It's quite funny, actually. I got quite a few comments after it. The race itself was going well. It felt decent. I was in a bit of a pack that was sort of like the middle pack, sort of going. And then I remember I got pushed wide. 2 cars came on the inside of me as we was coming round the second corner, I believe. And I believe it was JJ had been spun and was sat there, and I tried to duck him before I hit him. Nearly did it, but my wheel caught the back bumper.
Yeah, because I remember on the restart, I think I was behind you, and Rachel over the earpiece said, "Number 13, Danny Bauer, pull off because your wheel's on the wonk."
Yeah.
As you pulled off, one wheel was straight, the other was pointing over to the fucking crowd.
I remember just saying your car's buggered. I was like, oh great, nice one. I was just going to trundle. All I wanted was the finish.
Yeah.
So I was sat in the middle for ever because I don't know.
Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag.
Yeah, but then even then when they did the, like, you lot go off, the top 3 go onto the stand to do their like chats and get their trophies and everything with it in the World Final. They went off, and then me and I think it was Sam Parker was still sat there, and I just saw the smoke at the gates. I was like, what the hell's going on here? All the F1s started coming off. I went, I hope they get me off before these start.
Hey, yeah, but you'll get front row seats. What are you complaining
Yeah.
for?
But then, yeah, got took off and the wheel had gone through the starter motor. So unfortunately, that was the end of the world for me.
Yeah, I remember the pits not being fun. But before the World Final, we came off a Buxton meeting, which wasn't the...
Now we've talked about World Final, you can't go backwards.
Oh, no, we can. We can, especially on this one. So when we first started, we didn't know enough all about any of the championships, and one that we was involved in that we can never win anymore is the Whites and Yellows. So the Whites and Yellows, it's more directed at the Whites and Yellow tops. I was saying to Danny all season long, aim for this one. This is one you want to go for. You're on it. The car's good, because at this point when we was talking about it, we didn't have Danny's car. So over the few qualifying rounds we had, Danny Boy qualified front row yellow.
Yep.
Buxton was wet, and I remember it's the only time you practice at Buxton.
Yeah.
And I remember me, Ellie, and Tia, and my dad, and a few others were watching, and it was pissing it down.
Yeah, first practice I went out with my normal steering wheel, didn't I?
Yeah.
And you sort of picked up that I was oversteering too much.
Yeah, because with a smaller steering wheel, you sort of moving the wheel more, whereas a bigger steering wheel, you don't have to move it as much, but you still get as much rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So you came off that, you went back on with a bigger steering wheel, and it was night and day difference. It was like, fucking hell, he's rapid. And it was like he was coming off corners, he was keeping the arse end out, but he wasn't keeping off the throttle. You was just sort of going with it. So you came off, was like, right, inside line's dead. I'm happy with this. Mint. And to be honest, we was all thinking the same. And I had a chat with a few of the other whites and yellows drivers to sort of see who they predicted. And there was just like, so-and-so's going to win it, so-and-so's going to win it. And quite a few of them was like, we've got money on Danny. Because all of them said, he's quick. He's quick in his car. And like, after Mendips, with you being with Jack Charlesworth and those lot, you was like, you weren't just getting left for dust. And you weren't getting left. It was like, fuck me, he's keeping up. And like, this is good. So talk us through Whites and Yellows. I know it's not a memory we want to relive, but talk us through what happened with the Whites and Yellows on the start of the race and towards the end of the race.
So the start, I just thought, just let what happens at the start. Don't get involved in anything, and then we'll pick up off there. I think we started a car. It was JG out. He was going to be slow into a corner. I gave him a bit of a push. He went wide, but there was a car spun. So we all sort of had to deviate, which then got Alex Jacqueline in front of me. I was like, right, he's quick. Let's just sit with him. Let's work for a bit to try to pick up the whites.
What was the track like?
A joke. It was basically driving in a swimming pool.
So where would you say was like a wet quick line?
Outside.
It's
Keep
hard
your
to
momentum.
have a,
Try not to get tight.
it's hard to have a quick line when it's wet.
Yeah, it was basically try and make your line as straight as possible. So turning later, and with Buxton, it's cambered, so all the water goes to the inside line. Your outside line, you can pick up a bit of speed. So we did that. I sort of sat in for a bit. We sort of caught up with the normal whites, got past them, I'd say pretty quickly. And then it was just a case, I think it was Mackenzie was out in front.
He was like a quarter of a lap ahead.
Yeah.
I remember saying to Will, I was like, Mackenzie's got this. Because it was that far ahead, it's like, not a chance anyone's going to catch him.
Yeah. I think I was just like, right, just dig here and then we'll see for seconds doable. And a couple more laps happened and I thought, we're on him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's had a bit of
I think it was
skid or
turn 1 and 2. He sort of had an inside line and he got real squirrely.
Yeah.
And then just lost his momentum. And then I think that's when you and Alex Jacqueline caught him up.
Yeah, and then with that, I saw Alex. It was on turns 3 and 4. Alex sort of saw the inside because he'd gone a bit wider, even off of the wide line. And I thought, I'm just going to go with him. I've got to, really. We both got past, and then I started seeing the boards, something I've never looked for since starting racing.
We don't like the boards at Buxton.
No. And I saw 4. I thought, right, 2 laps, and then we've got to make something happen, or we're just sitting here for the fun of it. And like Ellie's always said to me, if you're just willing to be sat in second place when a first doable, you may as well not have got in the car.
Again, going back to these two are a team. It's not just Danny racing. You've got Ellie putting her big size 3s down.
So we came down the start straight, and I'd got a really good exit, and I was gaining. And I thought, I've got him here. He went wide, and I thought, I don't know, head fog. I thought I can dip and do the inside here.
Well, that's going back to when it was like, when you're racing, you've got a sensible head, and you've got well, if I don't do this now, it might never happen.
Yeah.
Like because it happened right in front of us. We knew that you'd gone for a line. You had gone for a line. It was there.
Yeah.
It was a risky line.
Yeah. And I took the speed that you'd be taking for the outside line into it. I'd have had to have dropped more to go into it. As soon as I hit the camber and what is the new tarmac now, because they've widened the track, it was just an ice ring, and the back end just went, and that was that.
So what could have been is now a goal for next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
So speaking of next year, 2026, I know we've had a little bit of a hit with tracks.
Yep.
We're not doing speed with our in-car race anymore.
No.
So what's your goals then for next season? Obviously, every year we personally try and top what we've done last year.
Yeah. Well, that Buxton, even though whites and yellows was painful, the next race out I got a 4th. So I think the only way to look up from that is get on that podium.
So you want to be on the truck?
Yeah.
You want to waving at people in the
I'll
crowd?
be awkwardly waving at random people. Yes.
Wicked. So 2026, Danny Bowers is going to get a podium. Is it going to be a gold, silver, or bronze?
I mean, we'd all love a...
Or what you do is you put some cheerleader outfit in and you could be one of the grid girls.
Yeah.
Then you get lots of rides and trucks.
We'd all love for it to be a goal, but
I think a lot of people would love for it to be the the cheerleading outfit though.
I think anything I'll be more than chuffed with. If I can come away with a trophy next year of any sort, that'd be buzzing.
So where did you finish in the national points? Because I can't remember how many people we had on. It might have been 80 odd. Whereabouts did you finish?
I believe it was around 21st.
We'll
if I'll have a quick look
We'll
while
have to
I'm
bear with because
chatting rubbish.
Ellie's bringing up the things.
I believe the last time I looked it was 21st.
Yeah.
Whether... Do they get re-updated after the last race? With it being world final? Well, yeah, because it's points, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course it will.
Yeah, it might have done. Oh, yeah, we'll have done because
Yeah.
3 points.
Certain things that I'll get spoke about in the next podcast. When I get to torment you.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
But I believe it was around 21st. It might have been a bit less after that weekend. 22nd.
Ooh, 22nd. So what's the goal next year? Top 10? Because don't forget, when you started the season out, you was like knocking on a door of 11th. And you'd never raced before. I think it was it first grading period?
First grading period, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. You didn't even hit yellow on your first grading period.
No.
It was like white, blue. Chaos.
Yeah, and that hurt.
Yeah. Blue, if you don't know the grades, if you're new to over racing, it starts out, you start as a white top, and then you progress to a yellow top, progress to a blue top, progress to a red top, and then you get red tops with flashing lights, which is superstars. So Danny Boy completely skipped yellow top, yellow grade in his first go around.
Yeah, which was coinciding with the higher car going out on higher. So I went from white, blue. You're not racing for a month now. Oh, okay. And then I jumped back in it after Jay Albrighton had hired it at Skegness because it was a double header. And wow, is that a baptism of fire to contact racing? Jesus.
Yeah, so blue top, I hate blue top just because you're just in the thick of it all.
Yeah, you're in the middle from the start.
I'm much happier going off the back.
Yeah.
Than I am blue top.
But no, we got through it. Like you say, everything you do for the first time's a learning curve with Rebels. There'll be plenty more to learn over the years of hopefully racing. And yeah, I think like you say, a good goal for next year if we always want to one-up it. We've got a 4-foot Buxton in the work. Let's see if we can get on the truck.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode.
Yep.
Just a quick one before we go. On the 6th of December, 2025, Rebels are what would you say?
Attempting a 12-hour dart marathon. We're attempting. We're doing it.
We're doing it regardless. So we'll put a link in the description of a donation link. If you could donate £1, that'd be fantastic.
Anything you can give, it all goes to a good place.
And if you want to share the link to people, it's all for Macmillan Cancer Care, so all the proceeds go to that. We're hoping to have a live stream going on, so if you want to subscribe and click the bell.
Yeah, 'cause it'll be on this channel.
Yeah, it'll be on this channel. It's starting from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. But it won't just be us dressed in this.
No.
Danny Boy's doing it in his full race gear. I'm doing it in an inflatable chicken outfit, because what else you need to see?
There's plenty of other drivers' families.
Yeah, we've got Rachel,
down.
the woman who organises Rebels. She's coming in a panda outfit.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be fun. There'll be a lot of people here. We'll sort of be able to mingle. So if people could donate anything they could, that would be fantastic.
Yep.
If not, a simple share, a like, all that sort of jazz. It does help down
Even when the
line.
live stream's up, if you can get that link shared about.
Yeah, even if you just share the link,
lines.
it all helps. So that's on the 6th of December. We'll be putting a post up on YouTube and our Instagram page maybe next week, a week before.
Yeah,
depending on what's
2
happened.
weeks and it's on in it. So yeah, it'll be over the next fortnight that you'll see everything coming.
Yeah, we're still trying to refine the live stream because this is our first attempt at doing this. So we apologise if things were a little bit weird looking.
Yep.
So yeah, 6th of December, that is our 12-hour dart-a-thon. I'm AJ, this is Crew Chief, that's Danny Bowers, and that was a little insight on Danny Bowers' 2025 season.
Yep.
Now, as Danny has mentioned, next we'll either be doing me or we have a couple of people coming down.
Yep.
Before on the 5th, so we'll be probably filming another one of these very soon, which isn't a driver currently, it's a start marshal. So we'll be getting that perspective, which will be fun because I think it's good seeing it from our point of view, but then seeing what they've got to deal with us lot being there and any formula, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, no, it's been a pleasure. If you've watched this far, I apologise for the rambling, but you got to see a cat for like an hour, so that's all fun. But no, we will see you on the next one.
Yep. See you later.